Hey there, I'm Marshall Sutcliffe here in Las Vegas for the GP, and I'm going to crack a pack. All right, let's get this bad boy opened up here, see what we got. These packs are so exciting to open. I love opening these. Sapperling token, boo. All right, Tribal Flames, right off the bat, a really solid card here. It cares about how many basic lands you have, and this set's kind of interesting because there's ways to search up basic lands. You can play Wayfarer's Bauble, or you can play Rampant Growth or Evolving Wilds to get different types of basics into play. But there's also ways to make different colors of mana for cards with Starburst, but this one only cares about your land, so you have to remember that when you play a Tribal Flames. It's not just for a 5-color deck, it's specifically for a domain type deck. Now, the thing that I think people sometimes overlook is that you can play this for 2 or 3 and it's still a fine card. 2 mana for 2 damage is okay at sorcery speed, you wouldn't love it. But if it could be 3 damage sometimes, that's totally playable. If it goes up to 4 or 5, forget it. You're just always playing this card. Make sure you look to know that you can kill your opponent with this too. If you can just kill him with it, just do it. Wow, Kozilek's Predator, another sweet card right off the top. You get 2 Eldrazi spawn. They help ramp you up. They work great with some rares in the set like Overwhelming Stampede and even Overwhelm. And they can help you cast some big stuff while providing reasonable body as well. Big fan of that one. I'm putting that over here. I actually like it better than Tribal Flames. Tarashi's Grasp is 2 and a white for basically a naturalized effect. It's unclear whether you're going to want to do this or not. I think it's not main deckable, but it might be. Sickle Ripper, meh. He's fine. You play him as a 2-drop. Stoic Rebuttal. Now this one's actually quite interesting for sealed, because this is the only true hard counter that you can get out of the set outside of Cryptic Command. And that's really powerful in sealed when people are playing expensive bombs. Now in draft, their decks are going to be a lot more streamlined, and Stoic Rebuttal goes down a lot, so I would put that one here in this pile. With just Predator and I should put Tribal Flame. So these are the ones I'm considering first picking, and these are the ones that I'm not really considering. Otherworldly Journey is a fine combat trick, or I should just say trick. It bounces, your creature comes back, it gets a counter. You can do it to your opponent's creatures to get them out of the way for a turn. Sometimes it acts as removal if all you need is 1 turn, but it's not a first pick. Same with Commune with Nature. You get to dig through, maybe find your bomb, fine card, you can run it, especially if you've got a bunch of creatures, even if it just gets you like a Kozilek's Predator for a little extra mana. It's not that big of a deal, but it's not a first pick. Blades of Velospell, same thing. It's a nice pump spell. You can pump 2 things, you can get in a bunch of damage. The Changeling thing probably won't matter too much, but it could. But it's not a card that I'm really looking to first pick either. All right, here's a Mirror Enforcer. You want to get as many of these as you can get in the Affinity deck. I mean, this is kind of one of your premier Affinity cards, especially for the colorless ones. The blue ones are a little better, but the 4/4, it ends up costing you 2 or 3 mana most of the time. You can flood the board with these, and these are the things that actually get most of the work done. Much better than like a Frog might. I'll put that one here too. Alloy Mirror. This is a little bit fragile at 3 mana, a little bit slow, but it makes any color you want. And when I was talking about Tribal Flames, like this is a non-bow. You don't want to combine these two because it doesn't work the way you want it to. But if you're trying to do Sunburst or just trying to play a whole bunch of sweet cards, Alloy Mirror's your friend. I think this card's totally playable. I expect to see a lot of these over the course of the GP weekend as well. Ooh, here's one. I'm going to put it here though. I don't think I'm going to first pick Alloy Mirror out of this pack. Tezzeret's Gambit. This card is sweet. Draw 2 cards, and it's 3 colorless mana. You can just ignore this if you want. So any deck can play this. You can play red, green, ramp, and just jam a Tezzeret's Gambit to reload your hand after you've played a bunch of ramp cards. If you're in blue, you can pay the blue for it if you want. And then you also get to proliferate, which is insane if you happen to be in green-blue, because so many of your creatures use Graft. They're basically made up of +1/+1 counters, and this can grow your whole team while drawing you 2 cards. I've done that before. It feels completely broken. I like this card a lot. All right, here's the Simic Growth Chamber. Now, these, it's still not clear how high people are going to be taking these. They're uncommon in this set, so you don't see as many of them as around. They're every bit as powerful as they were, though. They fix your mana and their virtual card advantage. They basically act as 2 lands in your hand if it's in your opener. You can curve out in a pretty reasonable way, and you can use these. I think that we're going to actually see these go quite highly. I don't know if they're going to go as high as first pick, but we'll see. Oh, here's another nice one. Pillory of the Sleepless. Very solid removal spell. There's a certain type of player that loves cards like this. I happen to be in that group. You lock down their best creature, and at the beginning of their upkeep, they lose life. It slowly kills them. Card's really great. Pretty good rare here with Wildfire. This is one of the big question marks in the format. Is there a good Wildfire deck? When you look at cards like Alloy Mirror, and you look at it with Wildfire, you know, you want colorless ramp cards to go with your Wildfire so that you can be ahead on mana. The problem is Wildfire kills Alloy Mirror, so this is kind of something that you can't really combo off with, and there's not that many sources of colorless mana floating around in here that don't die to it. So it's actually unclear to me how good Wildfire is. I don't know. I'd probably take it early in the draft to try to find out, but I'm not sure. Let's see what our last card is here. Ooh, Mecha Rioters. This is the other domain card here. Tribal Flames is a lot better, but if you are running the full 4 or 5 colors, you're going to want a Mecha Rioters in your deck. Out of this whole pack, though, this is actually a pretty tough pack. You know what I think I would take? I would either take Kozilek's Predator or Tezzeret's Gambit. These are the ones that I'm going to narrow it down to. Pillar of the Sleepless is kind of my third choice here, but I'd rather take either a 1-color strong card or a 0-color strong card over a 2-color strong card to start off. I think I would take Tezzeret's Gambit here. I think Kozilek's Predator is slightly better, but staying completely open is a big deal. You need to find out where you're at in this format, and Tezzeret's Gambit is going to give you a few extra picks to try to find it's going to be playable in any deck that you want to run. So I'm taking a Gambit.